trolling. Rian Johnson's trolling, and he's got a swollen round head. What's up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And guys, I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, you jive turkeys. And I hope everybody is safe out there and enjoying the day. And pretty soon the Thanksgiving Day parade is going to be going on. And you know what would be cool? If you saw Rian Johnson's big round ass head as a float. Wouldn't that be cool? He's just like floating down Times Square and everybody's like, oh my God, that's the largest, grandest float that we've ever seen in this 100 years of the Thanksgiving Day parade. Woo! But anyway, guys, listen. As always, I like to start off these days by thanking everybody out there who likes, who shares, and subscribes. And those who subscribe, they hit the notification bell and they hit that all. It's just so important, guys. You know what I mean? And I thank you for that. And I want to remind everybody that you can indeed catch me on Twitter. All right, and I am there, and that link will be in the description box, as it always is. And also in the description box, you will find a PayPal if you care to help my garden grow. All right, I would appreciate it. But listen, guys, excuse me, still fighting that cold. Oh my God. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. I want to give a shout out to my man T squared. All right, who has always been a very cherished and valued, person in the comment section. And, and he's got a lot going on himself. I would leave the link to his Twitter and everything, but I don't know if that's like overstepping or whatever. It's like, brother, if you want to, you can shout yourself out, leave your own link there. And he had something on Twitter, and it was a story saying that Rian Johnson wishes to direct an episode of The Mandalorian. Of course he does. It's like, this is what these people do. It's like they don't create anything that's worthwhile. They jump on other people's creations and fuck it up. That's what they do. All right, so he sees how The Mandalorian is getting the love that The Last Jedi never got. You know what I mean? So now he's thinking, maybe I can get on there. Okay, so this is what he wants to do. And the link that was sent to me was comicbook.com. All right, I'm going to read a little bit of this so you can see where this nonsense is going. Okay, so it says here, Star Wars, The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson wants to direct The Mandalorian Season 2 episode. And this is by Aaron Perrine. All right, so it says here, Rian Johnson is having a blast after Knives Out was released this month. Yes, he's having a blast. This movie, Knives Out, was released to all types of adoration and critical acclaim. Rian Johnson, you think you'd be basking in the glow of your success with Knives Out. Apparently, this is the best movie ever created in the history of film. If you hear these people talk about it, it is perfection. So Rian Johnson, why are you still talking about Star Wars? Clearly, you're a shooting star, man. You know what I mean? It's like you need to be, you're like in the atmosphere somewhere, like, you know what I mean? You shouldn't even, like, you are in a galaxy far, far away of your own. You don't need to be looking back at Star Wars. Fly away. I mean, you know what I mean? Be the wind beneath your own wings, fart and shit, it'll carry you. But anyway, so I don't understand why he's still talking about Star Wars. But anyway, so he's having a blast after Knives Out was released this month. All right, and it's Christmas too, Ryan. It's like Knives Out. You could be making a killing with merchandising. You could be releasing like all types of cutlery and shit. You know what I mean? I don't understand. But anyway, Star Wars fever is at an all-time high with Baby Yoda, or as I call it, the creature, and The Mandalorian. The filmmaker was asked on a Cineblend podcast about having a chance to be behind the camera in the next season. Like most directors, Johnson would be all for another trip to the galaxy far, far away. Like most directors, listen, man, see, this is the beauty of me, like, being my own content creator, because I specifically did a story where J.J. Abrams, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one, most of us did, that J.J. Abrams didn't want to come back, all right? And like most directors, it's like he is one of the most famous directors out there today, like it or not. And he didn't want to come back to the galaxy far, far away. So what the hell are you talking about? It's not like people are just dying to work for Kathleen Kennedy. You see what the hell is going on. This woman eats directors. You know what I mean? So that doesn't ring true, my man. But it says here, like most directors, Johnson would be all for another trip to the galaxy far, far away. But I guess it's easy for him because he's like all up in Kathleen's ass. You know what I mean? He's like, you know, like part of her at this point, you know, so... but it remains to be seen if that would happen. The filmmaker has a number of projects lined up, like Knives Out was. It will ultimately come down to the question of what the schedule will allow. And let's not forget the trilogy, right, Ryan? You're still doing the trilogy. Where would you have time to be doing TV, Ryan? You're a movie man. You got a trilogy to work on, don't you? For its part, The Mandalorian has been nothing short of a smash for Disney Plus in the early days of the service. Season 2 will probably be one of the most anticipated titles on the platform whenever it rolls around. So when he was asked about whether he wanted to do this, the director answered, "Hell yeah, man! If I had the time, I would get in there in a heartbeat. I had a set visit for season 1, and it looked amazing. It looked like so much fun, something you don't know about, Rian Johnson." See, here's the thing, right? The Mandalorian is actually done by people who love Star Wars, all right? People who want to serve the fans, people who actually want to come up with a really good, coherent story. That's not you, Rian Johnson. You don't fit. This is what I'm saying. It's like you are the guy who wants to divide the audience. These people are the ones who want to bring the audience together. Do you see why you might be a misfit, Rian Johnson? The Mandalorian, they came up with so-called Baby Yoda, the creature. Rian Johnson, not in your best day of life could you ever come up with a character like this. You don't write compelling characters. You don't write lovable characters. You don't write cute characters. The closest thing you came up with, the closest thing that you came to having a cute character in your bullshit-ass movie was a porg. And you even fucked that up because you had the porg getting, like, barbecued. You know what I mean? So you messed that up because one thing that you should know about Star Wars, you don't fuck with cute. You sell cute. You don't barbecue cute. You sell cute. So if you want to come up with a porg, all right, and you want this to be a toy, then you must realize now that you done cooked the porg, you would have to have like a porg, and in the same package, you would have to have a roasted porg. You know what I mean? Because you did that, Rian Johnson. That was you. You know what I mean? So, no, you're just not a good fit, man. It's like, you know, you have done, I think, like an episode of Breaking Bad, right? And you had Looper, you had Brick, you know, like the bricks that you drop, you know, that's you. And that's what you do, you know, but Star Wars, you have to accept you're just not a good fit. Disney, Lucasfilm, you must accept this. Rian Johnson is the toxic one, okay? He's the one. He's the common denominator. It's like the fandom will always be debating about what is good Star Wars, what's not so good Star Wars, but what we didn't need is for somebody to come in and completely fuck it all up just because he could. That's not what you do with Star Wars, and that's the reason why that anything that Rian Johnson does, anything that Kathleen Kennedy oversees, anything that J.J. Abrams is involved in at this point, all right, it will underperform, okay? If you want to talk about getting healthy and going forward, then you're going to have to get past this particular era that we're in right now, all right? And that's not to say that Episode 9 won't be better than The Last Jedi. I feel like it's going to be a hell of a lot better than The Last Jedi. It just so happens that the story as a trilogy, it just went off the tracks. You know what I mean? It's just going to go down in history as a failure. That's just the way it is. And you would think that going forward in the future, you would want to distance yourself from all of the factors that were involved in that failure. You know, this is the reason why they're probably bringing in all of the new faces and stuff like that. Feige, you know, all that stuff. That's what you need to go with. It's like, don't look back. Leave Rian Johnson alone. Let him go on. You know what I mean? I'm sure he'll find success. Apparently, he's the second coming of Jesus to film. You know what I mean? So let him go. All right? There's plenty of talent out here. There's plenty of inspiration that can do a much better job. You don't need to be having Rian Johnson come in and stain what is possibly going to be a success with The Mandalorian. You know, and I say possibly because it's only like, what, the third episode, so we still don't know. But what I do know is that you don't need this hack involved with your shit. All right, so that's how I feel about it, guys. You can get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about the idea of Rian Johnson coming in to another person's idea, another person's inspiration, and doing and giving it the Rian Johnson treatment. You know what I mean? What would an episode of The Mandalorian even look like under Rian Johnson? I can tell you one thing right away. It's like the first thing Rian Johnson would do is have the Mandalorian take off his helmet. I can see it now. Take off that silly helmet. That helmet looks really silly, don't you think? You know what I mean? He'd have to take off the helmet. We know, like, within one episode, you know, that who the Mandalorian is and what it looks like, you know what I mean? And then he'd go to work on subverting everybody's expectations, and it would just be fucked up, you know what I mean? But like I said, that's me. It's like, how do you feel about it? Let me know in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, catch me on Twitter, and guys, I really do hope that you have a safe and happy day. All right, and I will catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.